Hello and welcome to a new episode. We're still working on Unit 1, Lessons 3 and 4. Our topic of the day is still around town. So let's see how we're going to be using public transportation to help move around our own town. Let's get started. We're going to be reading information and looking at the poster and the metro map on the phone. And then we're going to match the sentences about the exhibition and the map. So let's look at the poster first. This is a poster about a science museum. So there is a space exhibition and it is encouraging everyone to learn about science of space. It will be held on Saturday, the 30th of September from 9:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. Those of you who want to get to the museum can use the bus and use the museum station. So on the right hand side, we can look at the metro map on the phone and we can see the sequence of movement through the bus station. So basically, we start out from City University and this takes us 3 minutes to reach Valley Street, and it takes us 3 more minutes to reach Selim Street, and of course, after 4 minutes, we will be reaching the museum station. So let's match the sentences together. The exhibition shows how to travel by metro or is at the Science Museum. Of course, the answer is 1B. So the exhibition is at the Science Museum. As for number 2, the map shows how to travel by metro. So the answer is 2A. The answer is 2A. Now let's look at the information again and answer the questions. Where is the space exhibition? Of course, number 1 is done for us. It is at the Science Museum. When is the exhibition going to be held? It is going to be held at 9:30 tomorrow. As for number 3, which metro station do they need to go to? Of course, the answer is the museum station. They must reach the museum station to be able to attend the Science Museum. As for number 4, how long does the journey take to get to the museum by metro? Of course, the journey takes about 1 hour. And for number 5, how many stops are there by metro? There are only 2 stops. Now we're going to be looking at Khalid and Fawzi's conversation about going to the space exhibition from City University. Let's read it together. Hi, Fawzi, would you like to come to the space exhibition tomorrow? My dad is taking me. Yes, please. What time does it start? It starts at 9:30. We're going by metro. Which train shall we get? The first metro train leaves at 8:20 and arrives at blank. That's an hour before the exhibition starts. Perhaps we can leave later. What time does the exhibition finish? It finishes at blank. Okay, can we get a train in the afternoon to get back? Yes, one leaves at 1:15 p.m. and arrives at blank. Great, let's take that. Now we're going to use the information from exercise 1 to complete the chat with Fawzi. Let's look at number 2. The first metro train leaves at 8:20 and arrives at, of course, the answer is 8:30. So it takes about 10 minutes. Now let's move on to number 3. What time does the exhibition finish? It finishes at 2 p.m. So the exhibition finishes at 2 p.m. Now question 4. Yes, one leaves at 1:15 p.m. and arrives at 1:25 p.m. Now we're going to move to our language section. We're going to focus on present simple for scheduled events. Complete the questions and sentences with the present simple form of the verbs in the box. So the verbs in the box are arrive, end, leave, open, and start. The first question is done for us, but first let's look at the present simple grammar box on the right-hand side. Use the present simple to talk about scheduled events. What is a scheduled event? a scheduled event is any event that you already pre-planned ahead of time and you know its exact time of start or time of departure. So if I know that I'm catching a train tomorrow at 2 p.m., for example, I would say I catch the train at 2 p.m. or the train arrives at 2 p.m. Now, what time does the exhibition start? Here we know its exact time, which is at 9:30. So we say it starts at 9:30. This is a scheduled event in the present simple tense. The first metro train leaves at 8:20. So if I know that school starts at a specific time or the cinema movie starts at a specific time, then I will use the present simple. So you can say the movie starts at 9 p.m. or school starts at 7:30 a.m. Now, let's read number 1. What time does the lesson start? Number 2. The library blank at 8:30 in the morning. So, probably the answer is opens. The library opens at 9:30 in the morning, and our hint is that it is early morning. Number 3, the train to Port Said blank this station at 3:15. So probably here we're talking about the arrival time. The train to Port Said arrives at this station at 3:15 p.m. Number 4, the film hasn't finished blank at 9 o'clock. So here we're talking about the end time. So we say it ends at 9 o'clock. As for number 5, when does this plane arrive in Cairo? When does this plane arrive in Cairo? So remember, we use the present simple to talk about scheduled events of things or events that we know start or move at a specific time. Now we're going to jump to exercise 5. Imagine that you are in Cairo. Look at the times table and answer the questions. So we have 3 tables. The first one on the left-hand side is Cairo to Alexandria, and the one in the middle is Cairo to Aswan, and the third one tells us the trains and their platform numbers. So imagine that you are in Cairo and you want to look at the times table to reach specific locations. Let's look at number 1. You want to go to Alexandria. What time does the train leave? Here you need to find the train from Cairo to Alexandria to be able to tell. So if you're in Cairo, the train leaves from Cairo at 11:30. Now let's answer question 2. Which platform should you go to? If you're going to Alexandria, of course, you will go to platform 7, which is in the table on the right-hand side. As for number 3, you want to go to Aswan. If you want to go to Aswan, what time does the train leave? At this specific time, it leaves at 9:15 from Cairo. Of course, you will find this answer in the middle times table, which is orange, yellow, and gray. As for number 4, what time does it arrive to Aswan? Of course, it arrives at 22:45. As for number 5, you want to go to Luxor. Do you need the Alexandria train or the Aswan train? Let's look for our keyword Luxor, and we will find it under the Cairo to Aswan. So, of course, we will catch the Aswan train to reach Luxor. Good job, guys. You have finished the times tables. Now we're going to move on to the listening section. Listen to Nadia and her mother. Where are they? Which train do we need for Tanta? We need the train to Alexandria. Look, it stops at Tanta. Oh, yes. So the next train is at 11:30? That's right. And when does it arrive? It arrives at 1. Which platform does it leave from? It's the Alexandria train, so it leaves from platform 7. Now, let's answer the first question Where are they? Of course, they are in Cairo. As for exercise 7, number 1 is done for us. Where do Nadia and her mother want to go? They want to go to Tanta. What time does the train leave? The train leaves at 11:30. As for question 3, what time does it arrive? It arrives at 1 o'clock. As for number 4, what is the last station that the train goes to? Of course, it is Alexandria. And which platform does it leave from? It leaves from platform 7. Now, for our writing exercise, you're going to help with this section. Nadia gets the text message below from her friend Amira. Write a reply using the information from exercise 7. So what are we going to do? We will read the text message and create our own reply. Hi, I'm looking forward to seeing you later. What time does your train leave? When do you arrive in Tanta? So here I will say, my train leaves at 11:30 and I will arrive to Tanta at 1 o'clock. Will you wait for me there? Goodbye. Now, lesson 3 has been concluded. We will move on to lesson 4. Look at the photos. Which of these types of transport do you use? When do you use them? So we have 3 kinds of transport. The first one is the tram, the second one is the train, and the third one is the ferry. So share your answers with a partner, talking about which of these transport do you use in your hometown. Now, exercise 2, we will read the text and answer the questions. I love traveling by train because it's interesting to look out of the window. In one journey, you can see ferries across the Nile, green valleys, peaceful villages, and busy cities. Trains are often fast and comfortable too. Egypt has the oldest railway in Africa. More than 800 million passengers travel by train in Egypt every year on 5,000 kilometers of railway. I take the train when I visit my grandparents in Edfu. It's my favorite journey. Rihem. Now we will move on to the other text by Hannah. Lots of people in Alexandria use the tram to travel around the city. It's a great way to travel. It's easy to use and it isn't expensive. Trams are electric, so they are better for the environment than other types of transport. Some of the trams in Alexandria are unusual. They have 2 floors. I like sitting at the top and watching the streets below. Hannah. Now let's look at the words in bold in the first text by Rihem. The first one is ferries. On the right-hand side, you can see a picture of a ferry, which is similar to a boat but much larger. Ferries are used to move people from one place to the other by the Nile or crossing through the Nile. As for green valleys, valleys are special places that have ups and downs similar to mountains that we find in natural resources or natural places. As for the word comfortable, if you feel comfortable, you feel happy and you feel well rested in a certain place. So we can use the word comfortable to describe how we feel or how something feels for us. Now, the next word is passengers. Passengers are people who ride transportation. So they could be people on a bus, they could be people on a train, they could be people on a ferry as well. As for the right-hand side, the word in bold is tram. So a tram is similar to a train, but it is specifically used in the city of Alexandria for people to travel around the city. The next word is electric. Anything that is electric works through electric energy. So trams are used through electric energy. And the last word is, of course, floors. Here, the word floors means levels. So some of the trams in Alexandria have 2 levels. level 1, which is the bottom level, and level 2, which is the second level. So people can sit at the top of the tram or at the bottom of the tram. Now let's read the questions and answer them together. What does Riham like doing on the train? She likes looking out of the window. Number 2, how many passengers travel by train every year in Egypt? Of course, they are more than 800 million passengers travel by train each year. As for number 3, who does Riham visit by train? She visits her grandparents by train. As for number 4, how does Hannah travel around the city? She travels through the tram. As for number 5, what type of energy do trams use? They use electric energy. And number 6, what is special about some of the trams in Alexandria? They have 2 floors. So some people sit at the top and some people sit at the bottom, and they can both watch the streets. Now we're going to jump to reading the text again if needed, and write the types of transport next to the words and phrases the girls use to describe them. Can you add any words? So number 1 is done for us. A train is fast. A tram is comfortable. What do you think is easy to use? A tram is easy to use. And number 4, what is interesting? The tram is interesting because it has 2 floors. And what is good for the environment? It is also the tram. So here we believe that the tram is the winner for most of the descriptions used here. Now, the speaking section, we're going to discuss questions in pairs. So find the partner at home. Which way do you like to travel and why? I like the train because it's comfortable and it isn't expensive. I prefer the tram because it is more fun. In my case, I enjoy riding a ferry because it is a relaxing and peaceful experience. That's a wrap. You guys did very well. We're done with lessons 3 and 4 of Unit 1, Around Town. Have a wonderful, peaceful day. Goodbye.